We all use the internet constantly, right?
Mm-hmm.
For just about everything, sharing jokes, getting news, shopping, and maybe most casually asking total strangers for advice. These places we scroll through, like Reddit or Facebook, they often feel like, digital escapes, separate from real life. But sometimes that feeling shatters. Sometimes the line blurs and these online forums become the actual stage for, real-world horror. We're talking about genuine tragedies that played out, step by awful step, right there in public posts and comment threads. Today, we're doing a deep dive into the digital trails left behind in 4 cases like this. We're looking at these desperate pleas, the first clues, sometimes even confessions, posted by people who, for reasons we're going to explore, chose the internet as their witness.
It's really quite a shift, isn't it? How crises get documented now. That instinct to just broadcast these incredibly intense, private, sometimes dangerous moments, seeking maybe advice, maybe justification, before it even fully lands in the physical world.
Yeah, exactly. Let's start with the first story. It begins in probably the most typical place online for this kind of thing. Your relationship advice. This is the really tragic case of Jason and Brandy Worley from 2016. Okay, so this user, Jason in Hales, he posts, and you can just feel the suspicion immediately. It's intense. His wife suddenly puts a password on her phone. Her excuse, she's planning a Father's Day surprise.
Right. A common enough excuse on the surface, but it clearly set off alarm bells for him.
Totally. Then, a week later, the story gets more elaborate. She apparently needs a neighbor, who also happens to be a contractor, to come over and install a, quote, home office.
And reading his posts, you see he's just philandering. He literally says he has no idea how to feel. He's not yet thinking lawyers. He's just putting it out there, asking strangers, is this weird? What do I do?
Right.
Using the anonymity.
Like an emotional sounding board. And that shock he was bracing for, it hit hard. He manages to grab her phone while she's in the shower, like right before the screen locks, and finds everything he was afraid of.
Mm-hmm.
Salacious messages, pictures, confirming the affair. With the contractor, the guy's supposedly working on the home office.
Just devastating confirmation.
Absolutely.
Mm.
So he confronts her, confronts the neighbor, and he threatens divorce. Says he wants to leave and take their 2 young kids. And that's when the betrayal just turns. Incredibly dark. His wife threatens him, tells him he'll never see his kids again if he files.
And she weaponizes his past.
Yeah. She brings up a suicide attempt he had back in high school, says she'll use it against him in court to prove he's unstable. Just brutal.
That kind of threat, using mental health history, using the children,
Mm-hmm.
It's a really vicious way to shut someone down, make them feel trapped. And the online community, they saw that immediately. The advice shifted to safety, getting the kids secure.
And Jason listened. He followed that advice. He filed for divorce. He tried to get the kids out of there. But Brandy Worley, she committed this final, just horrific act. We have the transcript from the 911 call and the source materials, and it's chilling. The dispatcher asks about the emergency, and Brandy just answers completely flatly, I stabbed myself and I killed my 2 children.
Oh, God.
7-year-old Tyler and 3-year-old Charlie. Gone.
And that Reddit thread. It started as this anonymous plea for relationship advice, and it ended up being this public record leading up to a double murder. Jason apparently posted a few more times, thanking people for the support during the divorce filing, but then the account just disappeared, understandably. The digital footprint became an archive of unimaginable loss.
It's awful. Okay, our next case. It shifts gears quite a bit. We're moving from someone seeking advice before a tragedy to someone actively posting their side of the story while on the run from the police. This is the Agar Ghassan case. April 2017. A 22-year-old woman, Melinda Vasilija, is found dead in Kitchener, Ontario. Multiple stab wounds. The prime suspect. Her boyfriend, Agar Ghassan. And he's gone. Fled across the border to the U.S.
So he's actively evading law enforcement.
Right. But then, just 3 days later, May 2nd, the killer himself breaks the silence. Not to the police, no. He posts online. A user, Blue101, posts on the Our Canada News subreddit. The title is just unreal. Wanted for Kitchener, murder my side.
Wow. Not a confession forum, not a personal blog, but a news subreddit. That choice is significant. He's trying to reach a Canadian audience, people reading about the case. It's like he's trying to preempt the official narrative, a public defense almost.
Exactly. He's managing his image while literally being a fugitive. Ghassan lays out this whole narrative trying to, justify what happened. He claims he's posting to give himself space before he turns himself in, paints himself as devastated.
Okay, so what was his side?
She says they'd recently broken up, but then got back together. He confessed he'd slept with other people during the break. According to him, she started slapping him. Then he admits he stupidly pushed her harder than I expected, and she hit the sink. He insists this was the very first time he ever been physically violent towards her.
Minimizing the violence immediately.
Right. Then his story continues. She grabs a knife, goes for his face. He claims he cut his hands multiple times trying to get it away from her. And then, in what he describes as shock and fear, he grabs another knife and hits her almost blindly, his words, and then he just ran. Claims he thought she had just passed out.
It's a classic self-defense narrative, but constructed after the fact and, posted while fleeing murder charges. He's trying to plant seeds of doubt, portray it as a fight gone tragically wrong, not intentional murder. It's a fascinating, if disturbing, use of the internet for immediate damage control. Mid-flight, essentially.
Yeah. Well, his attempt to sway public opinion or whatever it was didn't stop the manhunt. He was arrested down in Texas a couple of months later in July during a traffic stop. Got extradited back to Canada, charged with second-degree murder.
So the digital plea didn't change the legal outcome?
Not in that case, no. Okay, case number 3 takes another turn. This time, it's not about confession or seeking advice, but active. Well, digital deception, manipulation. This is the really strange disappearance of Kimberly Bugsett in Michigan back in 2015. It turned into this whole messy online drama. So Kimberly goes missing. Her husband, Brent, tells everyone, including the police, that she just ran off, left him.
Okay, a common enough claim when someone disappears initially.
Right. But then things start getting weird online pretty quickly after she vanished. A really strange status update pops up on Kimberly's own Facebook profile. It just reads, "Some people will never understand her."
That is odd. Third person, vague. Doesn't sound like someone announcing they've left, does it? More like someone commenting about her. Her sister, Kelly, apparently called it out immediately, said it just wasn't Kimberly's way of writing.
Exactly. That was the first red flag. The first sign someone else might be controlling the account, trying to build this narrative that she left willingly.
A false digital footprint.
Precisely. And it didn't stop there. Private messages started being sent from Kimberly's account to her friends, even to people involved in the search parties for her. These messages claimed she was fine, she was safe, she was out in California, just needed to get away from her life.
So using her own account to actively mislead the search effort.
Yeah. It became this huge Facebook murder mystery, as people called it. People started accusing each other in the comment sections, pointing fingers. Her friend Laura Lee apparently got dragged into it based on random comments and speculation. It was a mess. Just total online chaos based on these weird digital crumbs.
This case really highlights the danger of digital manipulation. The killer, in this instance, used the victim's own online presence, her own account, to try and establish an alibi in real time, banking on the idea that a personal message feels authentic.
But the facade couldn't hold.
No. The weird posting style was one clue. But the physical reality quickly caught up.
Because just 2 weeks later, September 10th, police found Kimberly's body. Not in California.
Yeah.
Not anywhere far away, just 2 blocks from her house.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Cause of death was blunt force trauma. And her husband, Brent, the one posting those strange updates and messages, he was arrested for her murder.
The digital manipulation crumbled against the physical evidence. Still horrifying that he tried it.
Definitely. Okay, for our last story today, we move into something that's chilling, partly because it's unresolved. It's this desperate plea for a huge sum of money posted online just before, an implied execution. This $70,000 mob debt plea. This post appears November 6th, 2015. And the location is unexpected. It's on the Sarsad Boys 2001 subreddit, which is mostly, a forum for fans of the Swedish rapper Young Lean.
That's incredibly specific and really out of place for what he posted. What did he say?
It was blunt. The user, Finer Rang, posted something like, "Need $70,000, or I'm dead from the mob." He set a deadline, January 2016.
$70,000? That's a staggering amount to ask for on a rap forum. It does immediately raise questions, doesn't it? Scam, real desperation, something else.
Exactly. And he provided this backstory. Horrific if true. He said he was 23, had recently gotten sober. The debt, he claimed, stemmed from a fight that happened while he was using drugs. Apparently during this fight, an 18-year-old kid was killed. He claimed his friend was the shooter, but only after a gang member pulled a gun first. So self-defense maybe, but someone died.
And he's saying the mob, or this gang, held him responsible for the death, or maybe for associated costs or debts.
Seems like it. He claimed he was now their target.
Yeah.
And then the post got even more frantic, more immediate. He posted an image, claimed it showed the gang members actually approaching him.
Right.
Right then.
He posted a picture of people he thought were coming to kill him.
That's what he claimed, yeah.
Yeah.
And his last 2 posts ever on that account were just desperate. First, I need all the help I can get. And the very last one, I got no one.
And then nothing.
Nothing. The account went completely silent after that. Never posted again.
So we're left hanging. Was it real? Did something terrible happen to him in January 2016, or even sooner? Was it an incredibly elaborate, dark scam preying on sympathy? Or maybe even some kind of bizarre, morbid performance art piece? We just don't know. The silence itself is what makes it so unsettling. That final post just hangs there in the digital void.
Yeah, the ambiguity is chilling. Looking back at all 4 of these stories, Worley, Ghassan, Bugset, and Finer Rang, the common thread is just the shock, really, that these moments of absolute crisis betrayal, confession, manipulation, sheer terror are unfolding right there in these casual online spaces we all use. The threads themselves almost become the crime scene.
I think that's a crucial point. It forces us to think about what a crime scene even means now. It's not always just a physical place anymore. Sometimes it's the Reddit thread where the intent is first revealed, or the Facebook profile used to build a false alibi, or the forum where the last cry for help is posted. The digital footprint isn't just evidence found later, it's increasingly where the story starts.
It definitely makes you think. And it raises a tough question for all of us, for you listening. If you stumbled across a post like the ones we talked about today, in real time, what would you do? What's that gut reaction? When does just strolling online potentially cross over into witnessing something truly awful beginning to unfold?
A difficult line to navigate.
It really is. Well, thank you for joining us for this deep dive into these incredibly disturbing stories where real life bled so tragically onto the screen. If you appreciate us exploring these kinds of digital trails and true crime cases, please do consider subscribing to our channel, Horror Docs. Maybe share it and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our next exploration. Thanks for listening.